Hey, what's up? This is Zach here at the GM podcast in Bangkok, Thailand with Yair. Super excited to be chatting about Lava Network today. So before we kind of kick things off, I'd love if you could kind of introduce yourself and your role within this ecosystem.
For sure, yeah. So my name is Yair Cleper. I'm a contributor at Lava Network. And yeah, we've been working on that in the last 2.5 years. Before that, I studied computer engineering from Israel and built a couple of startups and jumped into Web3 exactly 3 years ago. Solana Breakpoint, same exciting vibes, but we all remember what happened afterwards. So let's cross fingers.
Web
From here we
three,
go.
year three. Let's go.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
a lot's changed. And Solana's kind of, you could see the price is back to where it was, and the adoption
Almost.
is 100 times.
Yeah.
So crazy to see. But can you? Okay, so back to you. So talk a little about your role within Lava Network and kind of what you do within the ecosystem.
So we founded the Magma Devs, and we contribute to the code, guided by the foundation. We help them do some BD, and yeah, very excited to be early supporters. Yeah, that's in general.
Yeah, so can kind of because I think people, they hear what that, but they don't actually understand often what it means to contribute to the network or to. Can you talk about like what that actually means to, for example, the Network? Like, what are you contributing, so to speak?
Yeah, so the team is super technical. That's the best engineers that I ever worked with. My co-founder also is super technical. He's also a cybersecurity startup and was serving in one of the top intelligence unit in Israel. And yeah, we kind of recruited the best people out there. It's kind of feeling like a family. We just had our first offsite in Lisbon. Everyone came together from Colombia, Israel, Serbia. Like it was just the people first time met each other in real life. And yeah, that's super exciting. They talking about what other contribution they can do, whether it's a code, whether what's the next feature that the foundation defines. This is going to be the roadmap. What do they prioritize? How the BD looks like? What are business model opportunities that we have there? And yeah, overall, I can say I'm super excited. 5 days that passed like that. Yeah, and obviously now with the market, I'm really eager to see where the foundation takes the Lava Network.
No, it's super interesting, and I think a lot of people don't understand the relationships between foundations and the developers or the people who are building the protocol. So I think that's really interesting, and that separation is healthy in what makes crypto,
Exactly.
in a way. Can you talk about maybe some exciting dApps you're seeing or things that you're seeing being developed that you're personally interested in?
You mean now? So I think what we see now in the space is a lot of conversation about utility, like how do we bring Web2 users to Web3, whether it's by AI, whether with SocialFi, whether more DeFi instruments that's speaking for the broad audience. And I think in general, those kind of intersections are very appealing for me. Whether you take wallet users and you make sure that the wallets are always functioning. When they claim an airdrop, when they mint a token, like the infrastructure stays stable and untouched. Obviously, you see suddenly dApps that have a lot of scale, a lot of usage in a very short time. How do they scale, right? It's real problems from real world Web 2. And in general, and that's what brought us to the space and to develop a Lava Network, is the fact that it was unscalable. The infrastructure was shit, actually. And you see that the fragmentation around different ecosystem. How do you make sure that you read-write data from the blockchain? The most elementary function that every user at the end of the day needs, right? You're opening the wallet. You want to see your account balance. You want to be able to make a transaction, a swap. But if that doesn't happen, how we can compare even blockchain to credit cards, how we can compare next usage of Twitter to Farcaster and so forth. So that's what's really exciting me nowadays.
And kind of those No, I think that's really interesting talking about scalability, and I agree a lot of it was pretty crappy. What,
so to speak.
yeah, what do you think is a differentiator for Lava Network for those who are not as familiar?
I think there were really good projects at the beginning that were trying to develop kind of a scalable infrastructure. And we saw a couple of projects that had the attempt to do that, were building that patch by years. And maybe the reason that it's not our first time with 3 times entrepreneurs. We build scalable product, we sold companies, and we understand the tech and we're passionate about the tech. That really helped us from the get-go to start with very scalable tech. Cosmos SDK, we built on Comet BFT, and we've seen like very successful project that building using the Cosmos stack. From examples like Terra, that of course everyone knows the end of the story, but the tech was untouched, even with the massive scale that happened at the end. So we chose the right tech, and we're focusing on the execution. So we don't build something for, let's have it in 3 years' time. No, we build something to have it tomorrow. We don't focus on, long-term projects that may be gonna have adoption. We create a prototype, alpha, testnet, and we go to the users and this is what you need. If not, we go back to the drawing board and try to improve that. So I think that what really helped us and the Lava Network ecosystem to come quickly and to develop its first testnet in less than half a year. Mainnet in less than 1.5 years. And when you think about this pace, I don't want to say it's unheard of, but when I read the foundation's update 1 week ago, that after 3 months of mainnet, the Lava Network already generating revenues to its contributors, I'm like,
That's crazy.
that's insane, yeah.
Where do you see it going?
So I think like as EigenLayer started with with restaking, and EVM, and then they announced ERC20, and I guess Symbiotic announced supporting Bitcoin restaking, and we go to more and more adoption from different ecosystem. RPC is only the start. So maybe I didn't define what is RPC, but basically, maybe I can ask you something. What languages do you speak?
Honestly, I barely even speak English.
Okay,
so
no, we can
maybe half of one language.
So so RPC is the language of crypto. It's the language of blockchain. If you want to talk and read information or write information back, you need to use RPC, remote procedure call. This is why if RPC is scalable, you can build everything on top of that. Because then you go to APIs and indexing and oracles and all these different data primitives are at the end of the day need this basic functionality. And this is the reason we started. When we started and my co-founder did some MEV bots and we tried to do an NFT marketplace and all this stuff, infrastructure was shit, meaning that it was always failing, that it was not resilient, bulletproof. We could not trust it. So we said, that doesn't make sense. Let's build it ourselves.
I like that approach. That's a very founder entrepreneurial approach. You're like, I'm just going to do it myself, build it myself.
Yeah, you don't need to invent the wheel. You just need to make it roll. So always the ability to take a few pieces of tech stack, of software that already was there. And the second thing I'm always saying to founders, time to market, right? So we said, don't plan on 3 years, bring something in half a year, bring something in 2 months, and test the market with that.
And honestly, I think for people who listen, that's a really good approach. Just Web3 moves so fast anyways that you might as well build for the now.
Exactly.
You might as well build for the now. Very cool. So kind of bringing it back to us here at DevCon, thinking about, there's so many different projects here, and obviously this event is put on by the Ethereum Foundation, and there's been a lot of kind of resurgence of different Solana is obviously growing very quickly. There's Ethereum, and I guess what brought you guys to this event, and kind of what are the goals? A lot of network within Bangkok or in the project, obviously, that you're supporting?
Yeah, so I arrived last Thursday, and I think our community organized the best medicine for jet lag, which is arriving at the evening, and tomorrow, the next day at 9 a.m. have a first talk, and then at 2 p.m. as the second talk. So I think jet lag is over, and thank you for that. Yeah, we were, I think the Lava Network was sponsoring the staking summit, which was super important because the foundation was just presenting first time the restaking feature. And in the first months, we've seen like 5,000 wallets that was subscription to that and got initial revenues from the protocol. And obviously we went afterwards to another great partner of us, Filecoin. So all the protocol lab team, and we were talking there about how we bring Lava Network to their ecosystem, how we improve the infrastructure, and also some teaser here. We're going to announce something with Filecoin soon. And it's many events, great partner. And I think Lava is very special because you spoke about Solana, Ethereum. We thought at the beginning, how we create a multi-chain, not cross-chain, multi-chain piece of software that anyone can use when start developing as a dApp. I'm a dApp now. All the successful dApps probably are going to 2, 3, 5 more chains, right?
Yeah, and they're abstracted away.
Exactly.
For sure.
And think about the hurdle of any time they finish integration to some chain and they say, oh, I feel like we're starting to see some traction here. Let's take it now from Solana to Aptos. Let's take it to Sui. So everything again from the beginning. What if, as a dApp, you write one line of code and you get access to all Web3? That's what exciting me here. And I just was in a meeting with Ilya, the founder of Near, which we are a great supporter. And we spoke about the new approach of AI intents and how we can help there to the ecosystem. For example, for Near, Lava Network already processed 50% of the volume. And this is only in six months with 100% availability. So dApps finally will say, okay, somebody is taking care of our ass, right? Lava is a backbone. And we don't need to think about, we need redundancy. We use Cloudflare, we use GCP, we do our own head snare. Like those talks are over now when Lava is live.
That's really interesting. And do you see that kind of, because you said you meant fit, do you see that kind of becoming 100%?
I definitely see that taking, the majority of the market. Yeah. The thing is, it's not that Lava is Lava is a unique approach that is aggregate all the different providers. So it's like an open source that, for example, if you want to launch a rollup, you might use Celestia. If you think about how do you create your next AVS, you think about EigenLayer, right? And we want dApps and developers not to worry about their infrastructure. We want chains that launching now not to have the need to go to different provider, negotiated contracts, and pay for something they don't know what they get. We want to make sure that all of that is solved, and then we really have a marketplace for data that we can build much more.
Fascinating. Very cool. So kind of talk about, I guess, just to kind of recap a bit, what do the next, because you talk about the next 6 months, next couple months, what do the next couple of months look like?
Yeah, so I'm very excited about presenting the restake feature. I think it's an amazing way for contributors that they actually can restake to providers and really participate in the network efforts to make it much more performant. Because today, all the infrastructure topics about demand are about security. But I never heard that because of security, there is a usage of bridges. That because of security, you see a DEX that's exploding. Because of security, the chain link is, no, it's not because of that, because there is a demand, right? So, and there is a good performance there. So they're using them. This is kind of generating the demand, not the security. So I think that I'm very excited to shift the paradigm of speaking only about security to speaking about restaking in terms of security and performance. Bring them together to the equation and solve new chains those problems. I'm a new chain and I have $50K budget that I need to spend over the next 3 months. Who should I give it to? Which provider? Why we have this conversation at all? If we have one-stop shop that you can just put the incentives, and those incentives, there is demand. So supply is coming, node runners are coming, kind of monetizing themselves like Uber for nodes. And at the end of each month, they're receiving the service based on the quality of service. They receive the rewards based on the quality of service. That's what excites me, to see more and more pools coming like that. And one last thing is, we got a lot of questions like, who are using you, right? And then the foundation decided to create this super cool dashboard that you see a map of the world, and like you see every country, the users that's using Lava. They probably don't know what Lava is. But it reached 3 million unique users from all over the world, over 40 chains. And it's super exciting to see, especially in the bull market right now, where it can go.
It's going to light up that whole map.
We are from Hawaii, by the way. We just spoke about Hawaii before. Probably it's Nick from Celestia, the only user, but
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you so much for the fantastic interview. Make sure to follow Lava Network to stay tuned for their exciting developments. Thank you.
Hey, what's up?
This is
But
Zach.
it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
How
hive.
many know we do not understand that we do not work? Ladies and gentlemen,
Get back at the Genzio Media House.
Oswald, thanks so much for joining us today.